Here's the advice I would give my single friend who wants to raise her child bilingually or even trilingually. Hi, I'm Amy, American mom of 2 daughters living in Germany for exactly a decade. I am a teacher here and I studied language acquisition and I work with multilingual families, including my own, on a daily basis. So follow along if you're interested in this topic. And here's what I would tell my friend. So my friend was raised bilingually. She is a native speaker in both English and Spanish. She lives in Germany and she's still working on her German fluency skills. First of all, I would assure her that giving her child the gift of 2 to 3 languages from an early age is one of the biggest treasures that she can give her kids for the rest of their lives. Kids under the age of 6, brains work completely different than adults, even under age 12. So the fact that she's starting this early is just, since she's not yet quite fluent in German, I would tell her just let the community take care of the German language. She will enroll her child in daycare, and there her child will pick up the language because they're spending, at least 30% of their time there. Eventually, German will become probably the primary language for this child if they stay in Germany. Now, that leaves Spanish and English. In our society here in Germany, I would say Spanish is the most minority language. Therefore, I would suggest that she should follow a minority language at home process. So whenever she's at home with her child, she should speak only Spanish there. If she wants to keep it bilingual, then leave it at that. Let Spanish become the at-home language and then the community language German outside of it. However, she has so many international friends and speaks perfect English. So I would probably push her to try and do trilingualism, whereas she does the minority language of Spanish at home, but whenever she meets her friends and her support systems, speak English with the child. To make sure this got to the 30% of the child's time, I would suggest also visiting English playgroups or any kind of events in English as well, and talking to any family she has in both of those languages. So her family members who can speak Spanish, to do FaceTime with them, and for any family members or friends back home who can speak English, to do that as well. Books in both Spanish and English. German will come from the community. Same thing with media. Totally possible. And if she feels like there's still not enough English input, she could pick one location within her household, let's say the kitchen, and she could make that the area where she speaks English to her child. This is a hypothetical situation, so obviously it's really dependent on that specific person, that specific family, the needs, the wants, the desires. But what do you think about this? Let me know in the comments, because I know there's so much misinformation out there and this might shock some people. So see you next time. Ciao.